Okay, so your table of contents, we're flipping the page. And that is the only back we will not use. Leave it blank. Okay, this page right here is going to be our page 1. And we said calculator sheet. Now remember, if you don't have a spiral and you have a composition notebook, you're going to have to get creative because this will not fit. So figure out how to get it on there. Now, you can actually sit your calculator on this. And it shows you the stuff at the side. Do you see this right here is a negative sign? Not a minus, your minus is right here. That's the decimal point and so on. So if you're like, oh, where is that one? If you want to color the blue button, if you want to color the green button, blue and green, you can do that at some other time. Okay, so you can do it. There's glue in your bags. Okay, now you can set that aside. And we're going to take notes. You want the full sheet that looks like this. The full sheet that looks like this. Not the little bitty one, the big one. You want the big one for right now. Okay? Now, on the left hand, you're going to see that we were nice this year. We actually have it filled out for you on the left-hand side. And here is the ice cream cone. And I will put these note spirals in Schoology when y'all get your iPad, so you can actually click on these stuff if you want that digital thing right there. Okay. So if you look at mine right here, do you see mine's empty? Yours has writing on it. You're welcome. We were nice this year and actually kept that side there. So I'm just going to go over it. You don't have to write on the left-hand side. You can just pay attention to what I'm saying. If there's something extra that you need to write, you are more than welcome to write it on there. Okay? So a terminating decimal is a decimal that stops. It terminates. It does not keep going. A repeating decimal is a decimal that goes on with the same numbers. Now you do not have to write that because that something to that form is already written on that side. Does everybody see that? Okay. Integers. Actually, I'm going to skip down to the bottom where it says natural numbers because that's what you naturally learned in kindergarten. You naturally learned 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? You did not sit on that little green carpet and then say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, did they? No. So 0 came later and it's a whole number all by itself. Okay? Then we have the integers. This is that number line you saw in your math teacher's room that started with negatives and then went with the positives. Okay, that's just like a normal number line is where your integers are. Those do not have fractions or decimals on it. So I do need you to write this up top. Under rational numbers, I do need you to write this. Under rational numbers, I want you to write decimals and fractions. So fractions can only go there in rational numbers, and decimals that terminate or repeat. And you're going to see how helpful that is here in a minute when we do a picture. An irrational number, like an irrational person, is one that goes on and on and on and on and on forever. and it does not repeat, and it does not stop. So you can always think of pi. Pi goes on forever, right? So that's always going to be irrational. Okay, so now we need to just write which columns that they would go into. They're going to at least have 2 words on every single one of them. Okay, some of them are going to have all, so you're going to have to write kind of small. Now, this would be if it was on the STAR test, they would have the little boxes. They would give you a number and you check all that apply. Okay, so that's what this would look like, just so you know. Okay, so I have a decimal. Do you see it stops? But guess what? We are talking about the real number system. So all 10 of those are going to have the word real. So let's go ahead and write that on all 10. All 10 are going to be real. No matter what the number is, it is a real number. Okay, so let's go back up to 1. It is a decimal, and it stops. It is rational. Good. And then I can't go any further? Because integers don't have decimals, do they? No, good. So we would have rational. So if you'll look over at the side there, I want to make mine big enough for y'all to see it. But if you look over at the side with the examples, it helps you know what goes where. Okay, 0. Good, and rational, okay? So it is rational. It has to either be rational or irrational. That's going to be your first word under real. It is an integer. And yes, you are correct, it is whole. It is just not a natural because we didn't naturally start counting with that. Number 17. Where would the number 17 fall? A natural. It's a natural number. It's a counting number, right? That's the same thing as a natural number. So guess what? It's all of them but irrational. So rational, integer, whole, and natural. If you need to make 2 columns there, you can. And I get to write this 8 times. You only have to write it once, so I expect you to write it. And like I said, I do a note spiral for every class, so I know what yours should look like. Okay, now the fun part. We get to touch the calculator. And anybody know what the square root of 10 is exactly? No. I didn't think so. Because it's not one I would know off the top of my head. And you're going to see why. Okay, so everybody turn on your calculator. The on button is in the left-hand corner. Okay, everybody got it on. Yours might have clear or a Texas on there. Just hit any button. It should. That's what yours should look like. So that means they cleared it out. And I will teach you how to clear it out at the end of class today. Okay, so turn it on. The on button's in the bottom right. Bottom left, sorry. You can just hit any button. It'll clear it. Perfect. Okay. If you just hit, when you hit something, if it types something in there, do you see this joystick right here, your up, down? It says clear right here underneath it. You can just hit clear if anything types in there, okay? Now, do you see that as a square root? So I want everybody to look at the green button. And then look 3 buttons down. Do you see it says x squared? Do you see above the x squared, little bitty in blue? It has a square root sign. Isn't that what we need? Well, it's blue. What do you think we need to do if it's blue? Hit the blue button. So if you want anything that's blue, you're going to have to hit the blue button. Okay?
If I share this with myself.
Oh, go ahead. Hit the blue button, and you should have a little arrow at you. Okay? Then you're going to hit that x squared button, the one that is 3 down from the green button. And you should have that cute square root sign. Now you're going to type in 10. Hit clear. Hit blue. And then hit 3 down from the x squared. There you go. Now type 10. Now first period I kept saying hit enter. They kept looking at me like, I don't see an enter. Some of y'all's enter has been used so much it's kind of blurred. Enter is on your right hand side below the plus sign, the very bottom button. Yours might just be a smudge. Yeah. You might just see an E. And hit enter. And it is irrational. Do you see it goes on and it doesn't repeat? So it is irrational and we stop. Hit enter. Below the plus sign. There you go. You just put real and irrational. Okay, -2/5. It's a fraction. What do I know a fraction is?
Decimal.
Okay, it could be a decimal. Where am I going to put a fraction? Look at our keywords we wrote. Rational, good. This is that class you're going to have tons of bells in because 6th grade lunch.
After 5th.
And your 5th grade teacher will walk you. You will sit at their table.
Not right now.
Okay. -29. Good. So it's an integer, so it's going to be rational and an integer. There's another square root sign. So let's practice it. Hit blue and the x squared button, or 3 buttons down from the green one. And what did you get?
9.
9. So do you see how that one was kind of tricky? It was trying to throw you. So I'm going to look at that as 9. Where would 9 fall? Natural. Good. So I got to write them all. Rational. Integer. Whole. And natural. .7 repeating. If it repeats, it is rational. Repeats, rational. Think RR. Repeats, rational. Okay? Repeat, rational. What about the pi sign? It goes on forever, so it's irrational. And our last one is a fraction. So what does that tell us? It's rational. Now, if we've already written something, I don't feel like you need to write it again. So now get out your little half sheet, or the smaller sheet. And you can see the left side is already done for you, which is just a review. So actually you now have great places to go look. If you get stuck, if you're ever working on any of these, you can look and say, oh, okay, that's where that would fall. So y'all's is all filled in. We are going to look at this side, but we're going to mark out some. We're not going to do number 1. We're not going to do number 5. We're not going to do number 4, and we're not going to do number 10. Why? We've already done those. Got it? Okay. Of course we know it starts with real. If it is a decimal and it stops, it is rational. Number 3, it's a fraction. Good. It's a real and it's rational. Look at number 6. What's the little line above it mean? Repeats. Which one repeats? Rational. Irrational does not repeat. Irrational goes on and on forever. So rational repeats. They both start with R. Rational repeat. R, R. Rational repeat. R, R. Number 7. Look at number 7. Irrational. Do you see how it's crazy? It goes on and it's not repeating. Good job. Real and irrational. Number 8. Negative 297. Good, an integer, good. So it's real, it's rational, and it's an integer. What are we going to do with number 9? X squared. Good. Hit blue. X squared. Type in 5. We need to do that to the. I got a grade sheet too. You'll see it. It's irrational. It's a crazy number when you put it in there, right? And your calculator only goes so far. So real and rational. So those are pretty easy, aren't they? Okay, let's see how easy they are. You are going to take, oh, we have to finish true, false, sorry. True, false, true, false. All integers are whole numbers. Okay, so let me ask you this. Negative 20, which one do we use? Negative 297. Was it integer? Is it a whole number? No. So do you see how you could use a number if you need to? So that one is false. Number 12. All expressions involving square roots are irrational. No, because was square root 81 wasn't? It was 9. It was a natural number in disguise. All real numbers are either rational or irrational.
Yes.
Yes, because isn't that the second thing we've got to write after real? So that one is true. And number 14. If a number is a natural number, it is also a whole number. True. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You are going to put this first column where it belongs. Okay? Put the numbers in the first column where they belong in that graphic. This could be another thing they make you do. They might make you slide them into the correct spot. Oh, yeah. The first one is sunset all day long. Probably because most people haven't gotten to the second two. Okay, let's see how you did that side, then we'll go to the other side. After we glue it in. We want to make sure we get our glued in before. I mean, we still have plenty of time, but I don't want us to run out of time and rush and not get stuff glued in. Okay, so where did you put 0.75? Rational. Remember, decimals can only go in rational. Did we write that on our notes? have 1? Integers, so we're just putting it in the first place it goes, because then it's everything above it, it's included in. Okay? So you're just putting it in the first position it would fall in. 0. Whole. Guess what? That's the only thing that will ever go in a picture in whole numbers. And think of whole numbers. Oh, 0. Okay? What about 19? Natural numbers. You naturally learn that. 7/8. Rational. Pi. Irrational. What about the square root of 25? Natural. Because what is the square root of 25? 5. Good. Okay, we're going to glue, but then we'll come back to this. Okay. So we are going to, you can't see, we are going to the back of our calculator page. We do not want to skip pages or you'll have a bunch of notebooks. We're going to take our calculator page and we are going to turn it to the back of it. This will be our page 2. That's right. Turn it. And then this will be your page 2. Okay? Now, follow my directions. Take your little sheet with the graph we just finished, or just started. You're going to take it and you're going to fold it in half. We just took the little one we were just writing on, and we're going to fold it in half. Okay? Now watch what I do. I turn it over, and I put glue on it, and I'm going to put it at the bottom. Now take this one with the real number system on the side and fold it in half up to those words. So do you see it's a cute little foldable? So all I've done so far is I took my little one, folded it in half, and glued it at the bottom. I'm then taking the big one and I'm just folding it to where it says the real number system. Now watch what I do. I'm going to take this page that already is there and I'm just going to put glue on it and I'm going to go like this. Real easy. I just put glue on the one that's there. Now look, I've got a cute foldable. And I didn't waste any pages. Everything's on one. And we are going to title this Real Number System. Okay, now you can open it back up to this one. And you can put this right side number in there.
Oh, no. No, she's going to get through it. This one, yeah, they haven't moved it yet. She's supposed to go with it. It's not up to it. Yeah, it's gonna mess up the crew numbers too, 'cause I wanna start them off down, they're not good. So where is she? Yeah, see, look at this one right here. Yeah, she knows some paper back. I gotta find this so I can switch those numbers before they come in.
so you're putting the second row into the thing. But before we do that, will you put your name tag in the pouch in front of you? Every day you will get your name tag out and you will put your name tag up. The pouch is attached to your desk. You don't have to zip it.
Yeah, so she'll be number 2. Did it fall off? Oh, right. Let me check it in. So all you do is you go right here, you can fill it, and just pop it. There you go.
What time is this going?
36. So it was like, kind of like a jigsaw.
Okay, where did you put negative 13? Integers, good.
Both on my labor.
Negative 13. Where did you put negative 7.45 repeating? Good. Where'd you put square root of 2? Irrational. It goes on and on and on forever. Okay, 9 1/2. Rational, so negative 9 1/2. You can actually put that anywhere in that rational box. 0.3 repeating. Rational. And negative square root of 10. It's what? Irrational. Good. And so the negative button would be down here. And then you'd hit blue. So you'd hit negative, blue, x squared, 10, enter. Now, I'm going to show you how to clear out your calculator. You must do this every day. Okay? Now, don't look at it while you're doing it. Don't look at the screen. It'll just confuse you. Okay? You're going to hit the blue button, the plus sign, 712. Blue button, plus sign, 712. And it's always written on the board back there on the wall. Blue button, and then it should say RAM cleared. If it says RAM cleared, you cleared it. Blue button, plus sign,